Me on the tarot machine. This is your mid-month reading for January 2017, and this will be for the sign of Scorpio. So let me go ahead and give these cards a shuffle to see what energies you working with for the last weeks of the month. Okay, in the middle of the reading, the center of the reading, you have the Tower upright and the Star. The Tower is sudden abrupt change from an external factor. Maybe you got something to come in and it will benefit you, or it can come as a negative, but the change is that it was bound to happen, and it was something that was not in your control. It seems like it was more something that was going to happen either way. But this sudden change you have a positive outlook with the Star. The Star means positivity. It means that you're hopeful. So whatever changes that's coming to your internal environment, you are hoping that these changes bring you to a new level. You are confident about these changes. You have a positive outlook that the changes will work in your favor, and you can get a benefit out of these actual sudden changes that will be occurring in the last 2 weeks of the month. What's underneath you is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is represents news or fast action. So whatever changes that's about to happen to you, they're gonna actually come through very fast, because the Tower is sudden change, and with the speed of the change with the wands meaning that it's coming in real fast. It might catch you off guard, or you may not expect these changes, or you may get some information that will come to you that will be in your favor about these changes, and it can be in your job or your relationship or anything that's in your life. But this information or this sudden movement will happen real fast, and you will be able to capitalize on this information or this fast action during the last 2 weeks of the month. What you had in the past is judgment in reverse. So maybe in the past you was dealing with trying to make a change, and everything did not seem like it was going right. It seemed like everything was not working in your favor. You felt like the odds were going against you, even when you had presented some information to somebody else to look at it or to double comb this so-called information. You felt like they was looking at it from a bad standpoint, that it may not have been in your favor, but at the same time this change is going to happen, and it did work in your favor, but it was this information that somebody else needed to judge on was being kind of manipulated to a certain point, that you had the feeling that it was not moving in your favor. So what's above you is the Nine of Wands in the upright. The Nine of Wands is, with all this change that's happening and the speed of this change, you may have to take time and sit back and re-observe the situation, or kind of re-examine everything, and reserve your energy when it comes to all these changes around you. The Nine of Wands is, after you put in all your hard work and energy to it, you have to step back and see how far you came or how far you're going. But it's more of re-examining all the things that are happening around you at this time, and you may need to do that within the last 2 weeks of the month, is to sit back and see from point A to point B, and how you made these moves, or what actions you did to make sure they was going to materialize in your physical realm. what you have in the future is justice in reverse. So the justice in reverse says that, to me, is showing that if this was involving a third party person, that the justice was not going to go in their favor, or justice may not work in your favor, because whatever you're achieving with this sudden change and this rapid movement of information, it still is coming off that is kind of jaded to a certain point, and it may boomerang against you if you use it, this information that you're getting, too fast, or you present it to somebody in a form of a court document, or you bring it to light to somebody else. It may throw a negative cast on you or what you're trying to achieve. So let me go ahead and get some clarifier cards to see what can help you. We'll start with the judgment. The judgment in the past is, okay, the judgment in the past is, you also have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So this judgment that you felt that was going to get you, it was pretty much a cut and dry thing. It was not no new information being put on it, or it was no new drive put towards it. It was just more of it was information that was put out there, and nobody was bringing nothing new on the table for somebody to look at, or nobody was actually pressuring the issue to be moved in either direction, negative or positive. Let's see what else you have. Okay, you have the Five of Cups in reverse. So maybe this new action, you didn't want to bring nothing new in, is because you were stuck on this old issue or this old information, and as you kept analyzing it, it was that you kept getting um, disappointed, or you just kept going over it, or it didn't have anything to do with your future move. It was it's some old step that you refused to let go, and it didn't have nothing to do with the current situation or moving you to a certain direction, and you just kept going over this old information, and you felt like whatever this old issue was, it was hitting you in your heart space, and you could not let it go. And the next card you have is the King of Cups. So this information that you was not getting, and this old issue may have something to do with a King of Cups as a person that has more control over his emotions, and they know how to use their emotions to obtain something. Maybe you had to take, because it was an old issue with no information. It's saying that you didn't let it phase you. You was also controlling your information when it was brought back to you, or this judgment was brought back to you. You controlled your composure when whoever brought this to you. You still maintained your control, no matter if the situation went bad, or if some old issue that was being judged on was bringing to you. You showed that you maintained your composure during the whole situation. If it was a bunch of people involved with it, you made sure that you wasn't going to let it hit you totally in your heart space. So let's go ahead and see what the judgment in the future is. The judgment that it seemed like is not trying to go in anybody's favor is saying that you're not resting on and not thinking about it. You ain't taking time out to rest on the situation. You're just gunning ahead with it, and you putting all your ideas, or you putting all your thoughts into it. It's more of you not letting yourself rest on this current situation that you're trying to materialize to bring this sudden change in your life. Okay. And with this, with the strength and not resting, it's saying that you was letting your ego drive you with this thing. You was showing all your confidence, and you was pushing ahead, and more of with the strength and not resting, to me reads of more that with this situation with the judgment, you was letting your ego drive the whole force around this situation. And the last card you have is the lovers. So you knew that by you putting your ego into it and driving, not resting and thinking about stuff and moving ahead so fast, it broke up some kind of business bond, or it broke up some kind of union you had, or some kind of agreement that you had with somebody. And that, with the strength, you show that you was more confident. If the deal was going to be broken for you to get something in your favor, you was going to let that happen. It was going to happen anyway. That the union of a business contract, or dealing with a certain situation, it could be your job, that it was not going to work, and it was not going to work in the future. So you kind of took your confidence and your ego and pushed it forward. And then with the judgment, maybe it didn't go into anybody's favor, yours or the other person, but you broke ties from that situation, and you're using your confidence, and you're not resting, and you're just moving ahead. You will let it just dissolve, and you will just keep going to find something new, and you have a positive outlook of whatever new you're going to find is going to bring about a change for you. So I hope you like this reading. Go ahead and hit subscribe. You can leave your comments at the bottom. You can thumb the video up or down, and I'll talk to you later.